with the baseball, you're going to get hands on these set and anticipate pickoff. All right? If the pitcher steps off the back of the rubber, they're just going to stand up, step back and relax just like that. All right? And when he goes back down, you're going to get hands on these set. Okay? So you want to incorporate that into when y'all work. All right? Yeah, y'all stand back up. So that's what y'all need. When you go out and work your games, I want you to start thinking about those things like that, thinking about it in those terms. He gets on the rubber, it's set. Okay? His hands on these set. So now we're just going to have a pickoff at first base. They're going to get hands on these set. No, just fade. He's just going to fade. It's not a ball. You don't have first base, okay? I don't want everybody to lose the ball. When they read pickoff, when they see that the pitcher's going to pick off, they're just going to step with their foot, and they're going to step right to the imaginary 45 point, the midpoint. The midpoint, right there with their right foot. As they throw, they're going to stay with the pitcher, and as he throws the ball, they're going to square their shoulders up, drag their back foot, and square up with their shoulders, okay? That's going to get your head and shoulders squared up at first base, all right? In a good athletic stance, it's a very simple, it's a very quick motion because these plays happen quick. Too many umpires are trying to get square, and they're trying to get too many, and they're moving on the play. This footwork is going to allow you to already square your shoulders. Go ahead and sit. When they step to the midpoint of the 45, so the 45-foot line, let's just say the 45-foot line starts right here at this red line, okay? The midpoint of the 45 is just that. It's just halfway between the 45, okay? So when they step right here to the midpoint, go ahead. This is going to set your angle for your play at first base. And then you take your other foot and square your shoulders by just moving it back behind your other foot to square your shoulders to first base. Okay? So that's the footwork that we're going to do for pickoffs. And we're going to drill that in a minute. Okay, the next one is going to be a steal play at second base. Darius is going to use the footwork for a steal play because he's got a runner on first only. He's assuming that there's a runner on first base only. Andrew has a runner on first and second, so his footwork is going to be the same, but it's for a pickoff from second base, for a back pick or a pitcher throwing to second base, okay? So all they're going to do is they're going to stand up and they're going to drop step and step straight to the base. They're just going to step straight to the base. They're going to keep their shoulders and head on the pitcher, or in Darius' case, on the baseball. All right? As the throw turns them, they're going to then take another step and square their shoulders up to second base. All right? That's all you're doing. Your head and shoulders are square up to the base, and you're in a good athletic stance. A lot of guys are trying to get too close, and they're taking too many steps, and they're moving on the play. If you have a good starting position halfway between the back of the mound and second base, your angles are already going to be set. So you don't have to move that much because your angle on the first base side is already set. And if you have a good starting position on the third base side, your angles are already set for that play back in. All right, does everybody understand what I'm talking about with this footwork? It's very simple, it's very basic, and it's that way for a reason, so you don't have to worry about taking too many steps. You're not moving on the play. All right, we want our head and eyes still. We want our shoulders and head squared up to the base. All right? Pick off the third base with Andrew or steal play. With Andrew, this is just with Andrew, just to show y'all. All he's going to do, he's going to step to the midpoint just on the same as first base, and then as the throw comes into third, he's just going to square shoulders. All right? We're not going to do that because it's only for one umpire, but that's what it looks like. All right? If you have a steal play or a back pick into third base from the catcher. That could be a little bit different. Again, we're assuming that Darius has a runner on first base only, and Andrew has a runner on first and second. All right? So all these drills are going to be ground balls to the shortstop. For these demos, they're going to be ground balls to the shortstop. So all they're going to do is just stand up, and they're going to turn and they're going to face shortstop. All right? So their head and shoulders squared up to the shortstop. The shortstop is then going to flip the ball to the second baseman. They're going to drop that. Andrew, assuming that all ground balls are going to go where? First base. He's getting across the infield. He's getting across the working area. All right? As soon as he sees that shortstop, and it's not a base hit, he's going to be moving across. All right? So you're at the end should be ending up generally in the same area. All right, so at the end of your turn, if you're standing over here and your other guy standing over here, this guy needed to get across. Okay? So once the shortstop goes to the second baseman, they're just going to drop step and square up to second base. Okay? When they have an out, when all the requirements of an out are made, the fielder's got secure possession, he's touching the base, they're going to drop step and they're going to move with their signal. They're going to drop step, calling him out, keeping their head and shoulders squared to second base. All right? Notice that they're not looking over here yet because where's the baseball? It's still at second base. All right? As the throw's released, now they can cross over with their left foot squared up to first base. Okay? Understand? This is not moving. Once you see this, it's not going like this. It's just standing still, squared up, drop step, keeping your head and shoulders on the play of second base, crossing over, squared up to first. Okay? That's the double play footwork. You know, like Brent said, 10 to 12 feet behind the first baseman. All right? Squared up to the plate, hands on knee set, feet a little more than shoulder width apart. Okay? Facing squared up to the plate. When the ball's hit to the infield, you're going to be moving, coming off the line, getting your angle for your play at first base. All right? We would like for you, what we teach in umpire school is 90 degrees from the throw. Okay? So 90 degrees from the origin of the throw for you to set up in fair territory for your angle distance. Okay? Now, generally, that's going to be to a ground ball at second base. That's going to be generally 2 steps off the line, 1 to 2 steps off the line for a ground ball to second base, okay? For a ground ball to shortstop, it's going to be about 4 steps off the line. Generally, this is not, I don't want you to go 1, 2, 3, because the play's not. All right, but generally about 4 steps. For a ground ball to third base, about 6 steps off the line, okay? So that 2, 4, 6 concept is just a kind of a general guide to give y'all as a reference for your 90 degrees, okay? But when you get your angle and you're coming out here, you're facing the fielder, he's fielding it, we want you to square up, looking at the fielder, all right? But squared up to first base, all right? So when he fields the baseball, you're going to be here, then you're going to start getting your angle. And you're going to read, he's going to field the baseball, and he's going to throw it, and you're going to read true throw, which means it's not at you, all right? Once you establish that this throw is not at you, you want to get set. All right, following the ball. When you realize that it's a true throw, focus on the base. All right, hands on knees set, squared up to first base, focused on the base. You're going to be focused on the base, and you're going to be listening for the ball to go in the glove, but you're going to be looking at the base to see if he touched the base or not. We want you to use good timing when this play happens. All right? We don't want you to get too quick, because in this drill, the instructors are going to be throwing the ball from shortstop to first base, all right? And they're going to make them close. We're going to make them close. The runners are just going to run at a normal speed, but we're going to make them close, all right? There's a couple of different signals and mechanics that we use at umpire school to answer questions about plays at first base, okay? One is just if he's safe or out, depending on what it is, it's just he's out or safe, okay? One, if the runner did not beat the play, but the fielder who had possession of the ball came off the bag, all right, he was not in contact with the bag, then we want you to, from this position, just say safe, off the bag, all right? Just say safe, off the bag, and go in the direction, whichever direction he goes. So if he gets pulled off toward the infield side, it would be safe, off the bag. If he gets pulled off this way, it would be safe, off the bag this way, all right? If it's safe off the bag and he goes straight up, just pick a side. All right, because we don't want you to do this. All right? That means like, I don't know. All right? So safe off the bag. All right? The other one is if the fielder drops the baseball and it's in his vicinity. All right? It's safe, ball's on the ground, pointing straight down. Safe, ball's on the ground. Okay? Another one is if the fielder doesn't have possession of the ball and the runner goes past the base. It's safe, bobbling the ball. Safe, bobbling the ball. Okay? The other two is if he tags him. So the fielder is off the base and he tags the runner before he touches the base. It would be on the tag, just from your position, you're going to say on the tag, pointing straight at the runner, he's out. Okay? On the tag, he's out. And the next one is if you have a tag attempt, but he doesn't tag him, it's safe, no tag. So from your position, you're just going to say safe, no tag. All right, these are some of the things that we're going to incorporate into this drill to see if you have good timing. So we want you to slow things down. You're going to be quick. We want you to see everything, see the whole play. All right, you're going to have that good distance Brent was talking about. You're going to be squared up at 90 degrees from the throw. Slow down, and we're going to see what you got, okay?